Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to Pro Cycling Manager 2020 Career Mode episode 107, and welcome to the Tour of Colombia. Not an important race on the calendar, but just a fun one to do. I am going to take some risk bypassing some stages that could affect the times a little bit, but we'll focus on a couple key stages for this one. One being this opening team time trial. It's only 14K, so it's more prologue than time trial. So we set off with Mishik Smith, who is one of our stronger, especially prologgers, 76 in the prologue category. But until we really actually set off, it's always hard to get that first, there you go, evaluation of where the riders are. So Smith, yeah, we want to keep him in the rotation. Moreno is going to go to maintain position. Definitely for Eric, but Ginn is gonna put in lots of time. If he gets dropped, he gets dropped. Moreau will give a little bit of time, contribute somewhat, maybe 4 seconds at a time. Rodriguez definitely going to contribute, strong rider, but we want to make sure he makes it to the end. And Carlos de Mello should, also be a strong contributor. So Moreno, Eric Butt, gonna stay out of this thing, let the others handle it. That's 5 riders. Smith done with his turn. We're going full 99 here, so this is full gas. And Smith, not that big of a deficit. Ginn, though, that's one we're spending a lot of time on, so we got to keep an eye on how bad is the damage. He's a 77-77 either way, so obviously that puts him at a 77 for the day. Resistance quite a bit lower for Ginn, though. Okay, Rodriguez on his turn. Still positive balance, so he's good to go. And Ginn's actually back to positive. So Ginn, we're going to go max effort on Ginn for next time. Then we're also going to up the effort for Rodriguez. Carlos de Mello a little bit weaker here, so we won't push him or Smith too far. They'll contribute, they'll do their part, but we'll get our main guys pulling us through. First, so far at the first time check, 10 teams have gone through, and we lead the way. 2.5K to go. Ginn trying to carry us towards the finish. Rodriguez in the top few positions where he needs to be. Ginn might not make it to the end. Ginn's done. Go drop back. And there's that push for the line. Oh, we somehow slipped to 4th place. Still a good time, though. 8 seconds off the pace. I don't know if that had anything to do with Ginn on the front fading right at the end there. It shouldn't. But maybe he lowered the pace right at that last moment. Or the other teams were just able to come on strong through the finish. Whatever the case may be, it's a good time. Not the best time, though. 2 things of note here real quick. The stage that I was worried about, slightly punchy stage. Apparently we didn't need to worry because Pablo Rodriguez has won it. That moves him up into 2nd place overall. We were 4th as a team, by the way. So we did hold on to 4th with those final teams going. Second piece of news, the other race that's going on right now, Malaysia. I'll show you here in just a second as we wrap up stage 7. Team has been getting good results. We've gotten multiple podiums. Rajkovic had his first podium, a 3rd place on the previous stage. Amanatoglu just claimed our first win of this. We've had multiple 2nds and 3rds. Overall, though, one big climbing stage put us well behind. So we're not in GC contention, but with a strong sprint team at that race, we've had a pretty strong showing on the numerous sprint stages. Really all but one of the 7 so far. Still one stage to go, but quick check-in. Carlos Rodriguez, former rider of our team, Bahrain development team is where he's located now. We signed him as a 73. 3 years later, he was a 75. Now it's been, 14 months since his contract expired? 16? October? February. 16 months since his contract expired. He's now a 76. So he's gone from a 75 to a 76. Time trial is where he's gained. Climbing, no progress. I think he's gained 1 hill point and 1 time trial and maybe 2 prologue points, a couple recovery points. That's it. So I've made the dangerous move of skipping forward to the final stage of the Tour of Colombia, bypassing yet another punchy stage. We had one good result, obviously, with a stage win. The other one didn't go quite as well, but we're not in a bad situation. Pablo Rodriguez enters this stage in 6th place, less than a half minute off the lead. And today, with a big climb, this will be quite decisive. Moreno, unfortunately, on a -5, Eric Butt -3, but he's a puncher anyway, so he was always going to be a domestique today. Mishik Smith, of our climbers, would be a domestique. He's only on a -1, so not too bad. Rodriguez +2. I mean, overall, this is not a great draw today, but it's not a terrible draw. And having the only positive, well, Gin's got a +1. Best support rider. Moreau, next best support rider, 0. Rodriguez +2. I mean, we have that, so that's okay. Breakaway was at 11. It's down to the last 7. Peloton's already splitting. There has been some pretty serious undulation. You see some edginess to the route. That's short, steep, punchy climbs. You can see here's another one. It's Cat 4. It's one of only 2 on the day, but you can see just how dangerous it is. Gin, for some reason, has gone backwards. Let's up this tempo and make sure everyone's set and ready to go for the final climb. 20k to go, and we're almost to it. It's about a 17, maybe 16 kilometer climb, and it's going to be fairly steep. It's the kind of length you don't want to sprint train this. Certainly not early. That's the kind of damage you don't want. 15.5k to go, and we begin.
We've got 15 kilometers to the finish line.
Set to an 83 here initially. We need, well, Eric, but especially is not going to last long at all. Moreno will go a moment later. And Mishik Smith, I would think, would last a little longer, but energy-wise, it's clear he's not. Breakaway is done. We've got a peloton of just 84 already, and I am in that prime position. Carlos de Mello, he'll be taken over for those guys quite shortly, so we need to make sure he is upping the effort and holding position. Moreau was fading. I'm seeing an attack already. 12.5k to go. Richard Carapaz, 83.78. See a response from the other teams. Bahrain, whichever Bahrain that is. Answering, no, not answering, going off the front as well. There's the proper response. Chacone in the leader's jersey right now. A 77.74 will not hold on. He will get dropped on this climb. Alright, how are we looking now? We got 3 guys starting to go backwards. And Carlos de Mello needs to take over protection of our leader, Pablo Rodriguez. And then these 3, go ahead and set them all to auto. Moreno just starting to fade.
10 kilometers to the finish line.
Gin and Moreau. Let's see how these 2 are doing. We got a 78 with 71 resistance.
That's the end of the breakaway. The pack gave them no chance.
A 74, 73. So definitely want to protect Gin. That would be why he's faded just a little bit there. Gin, don't want to slip back, so take an 84. Here's the next attack. Carapaz, they're counting his attack again, but who has gone off the front with him? David Gaudu, 76.75. That's a big ask. There's the big split already. Wow, the pace. Pace has just destroyed the field much earlier than you would expect. 21 riders, 7.5k to go. And just now 20 riders at the front, with those two coming back and riders starting to go off. Carlos de Mello. Dang, that was rather quick, son. Let's get Moreau's gel going. He needs to swap and protect Rodriguez instead of Ginn.
It's in such percentages that the strongest
Down to
can create
19.
some gaps.
It's de Mello who was the one
And he
dropped.
moves on to the attack. It could be decisive.
Watch from the back for just a moment as things level off shortly. And you can see 4 riders stalling at the back. Maybe just 2. They hang on for now. Only 1 was dropped. That attack is
Only 5
again been
kilometers
neutralized. Moreau hanging on. 5K to go. Rodriguez still looking pretty good. And I bet you a lot of these guys are not looking that good, but there's got to be 5 or 6 that are. Großschartner has been distanced. This must be an age factor. He's at 73, 72. Definitely not the rider he once was. Fernandez hanging on at the back of the group. Buitrago, a 79, 67. Good climber, but no resistance. 3K to go. That is time to act. Gel. Okay, Rodriguez, follow Ginn. Ginn, follow Moreau. Moreau. It's not going to last, but for a moment. He's 73, 73, so he'll give me a little bit. Okay, on to Ginn, 2.4K. Stronger climber, but also a little punchy. Last 18. Ginn setting this thing up for Rodriguez. Gonna go a little faster. It's 1.8K. This is where we definitely need to speed up. Ginn gets blocked by Trentero. Ginn finds a way through. 1.2. And he pulls to the front just in time for Rodriguez to have a real shot at this thing. 1K to go. Rodriguez. 700 meters.
And they're off. It's
No
going
sprint
to be
yet. No
very
sprint.
fast.
No sprint. Now we sprint. Now we sprint. Come on, top 3. Come on, top 3. Come on. Come on. For the win, maybe? For the win, maybe? Come on, come on, come on.
Snatched
Oh,
it
well,
clean.
no, no, no.
Finish.
No, he is ahead of Conchi.
Teammates.
He is ahead of
Perfect
Conchi.
conditions.
I was worried about
He's waiting
Carapaz,
for the
but
back
he was
markers.
ahead of
There
Conchi,
were
and he
fairly
was going
numerous in
quicker
this
than
difficult
Conchi.
race.
He was going from side by side, mere millimeters, to getting further and further ahead. It wasn't a quarter of a wheel or anything. I mean, it was photo finish, but I thought Rodriguez had it. He does get second, though. He does get second. Conchi for the win. Rodriguez second. Carapaz third. Trentero fourth. Uman, Sivikov, Hamilton, Saceda. Ginn takes ninth. Fernandez is 10th. I thought he had him beat. I thought he had him beat. You see just an ounce of energy left for Rodriguez right there. I really thought he had him beat. I'd like to see this replay. This could be a decent comparison of the finish line. See, he's coming from behind. Looks like he's ahead. I mean, you can see here he's more than half a wheel ahead just a couple meters later. But it's hard to tell from that angle. Doesn't show much. We've really only got 3 angles. One you can't tell. This one. He looks ahead. He certainly was pulling clear. They were side by side, and that he pulled well clear. So how do you go from side by side to well clear? Where are you ever behind? Apparently at the finish line. 4 more seconds still means third place. Giampiero, Trentero grab second, and Italian 1-2. But there you go. Another podium. Good start to the season. couple of wins already. Definitely a good start to the season. Let's see what kind of sponsor confidence boost we get for a podium. Looks like nothing. Did we get any? It wasn't a World Tour race. No, doesn't even show up. Good thing we didn't spend too much time on it, I suppose. AG2R is going to be getting a new sponsor for next season. Carglush, new to the Peloton, but not sticking around. They're going to be a one and done. UAE, first stage, and it's another team time trial, so we get two. You don't get but a handful every season. You do get more at World Tour level, and it's already showing as we've again had two in just 2 races. Pretty good race day conditions. Also, Ginn, Killen, and Rodriguez are all looking outstanding. We're going to try to conserve Rodriguez and Ginn just slightly. Killen going all out. Smith is looking good today. Carlos Melo's looking good today. So they're both able to put in a decent amount of time, but they're not as strong in the time trials. So they'll contribute, but they'll contribute less. It's a couple kilometers longer than the last one. So we've got to watch the energy expenditure just a little bit. I think last time it could have been, the reason why we didn't win was that Ginn faded right at the end while he was on the front and cost us some time. But it only happened in the last 200 meters. And I don't see how we lost 15 seconds in 200 meters. That's an awful lot. So we just got to keep an eye out. Eric Button for Mark not working. They're the punchers here. Rodriguez. Okay, he's good. He's not at a deficit. Carlos de Mello. Let's turn this up a little bit more. Same with Smith. Make sure they're doing their part. Ginn is coming up, and Ginn doesn't have a ton of energy left here. So we're going to back off. Same with Killen. And then Rodriguez. Shorter turns this time. Make sure these guys get to the end. Okay, Ginn. Here we go. Push for the end. Come on, be done. Be done. Be done. Peel off. Peel off. Peel off before it's too late. There we go. Okay, Killen, pulling the last 300 meters. And that is a comfortable lead so far. It's only 3 teams, not 3 strong teams, but we're a half minute clear. And those 3 were all pretty close together. Rodriguez was second across the line, so he will be on that top time. That lead is holding so far. All 5 teams are well behind. We lead at the intermediate check as well. Ineos just 4 seconds down. Movistar, the only other one in any sort of contention, and Ineos takes it at the line. So it's just strength. It is just strength. We did not do anything wrong last time. We see it again here. The better, stronger team just pulls their weight a little bit better. Still really good. We're 6 seconds off the pace, and much bigger gaps on this one than the other one. It's only not even 3 kilometers longer, but the gaps are definitely bigger. So 6 seconds off the pace of the top team, and a good distance to anybody else is a great sign for us to start this race. If we can be one and the same with Ineos and everybody else is a half minute down, that is really good for us. And we're into the final couple teams now, and no change. There you go. 6 seconds, not a win, but a great start to this race. One stage, and you overcome Ineos and move into the race lead. And either way, that is a healthy gap behind us. Killen, Rodriguez, Carlos de Mello, Smith, and getting for Mark, the ones who lose just a little bit of time. They lose 6 and 7 seconds. Let's hope that doesn't affect us later. Ginn faded right there at the end, so that's why he lost. He lost 6 seconds, and he hadn't even dropped all the way back yet. Eric Butt passed him, but for Mark had not, as he dropped into the back of the group. But that's how quick 6 seconds come about. I mean, Brian Barrow was only 1 second off, really, and Cardoso was only 3 seconds off. So how did they lose 1 and 3 and we lose 6 and 7? They hadn't fallen back. They weren't dropped by the team. They were still in contention, in contact. That's a bit of a strange one. It's the UAE Tour Stage 3. It's punchy, but it's too long, too steep for the punchers. It's a mountain stage. It's only about 13K, so it's not super long, but that's just a little bit too long. I'd say it's about 4 kilometers, 3 kilometers, maybe too long for most, if not all, punchers. It's going to come down to the climbers. It will be a mountaintop finish.
The pace is really hot.
So
For the moment,
we
should
ride
see
for
too many
Pablo
attacks.
Rodriguez and the overall. Ginn, of course, lost that few seconds. If we do well enough, we could find ourselves in about 2nd place. And Peloton's already been caught, so I don't want to sprint train this. I want to, but I don't want to. I'm tempted, but I'm not going to.
The finish line
15K
is
now.
getting close. The riders have
It's
just
about
passed the 15
11K.
kilometers
Sorry,
road
it's
sign.
only just a hair too long for the punchers.
Uh-oh, the pack
There
is quick
may
in the pace.
be a couple, that could contend. But here we go. We need to set ourselves up for that quick, hefty finish, 10K. So we need to get our guys on protection. We need to use their gels right now. Otherwise, they will not be of use to us because it's going to go pretty fast as it's a 10K
kilometers
climb.
remaining.
There's the banner, and there's the beginning of the uphill. 7% already. 9%. You can see blinking red on an 87. And it's starting to rain. Carlos de Mello, need to go faster, buddy. Smith, need to go faster if you're going to contribute.
This climb features some dreadful
Here's the
percentages.
first acceleration. Pierre Latour. Not the rider he once was. 6K to go, and it looks like it's sprint train time. Really does, doesn't it? So let's get for Mark. He's a little ways behind. Why don't we, just in case, right? Just in case there's enough left at the end, we'll set him up. Rodriguez, Ginn. Here is Carlos de Mello, and then Smith. Killen. Killen's at the front. Eric Butt's just behind him. He doesn't have any red bar left anyway, so we'll just leave Eric Butt out of this. Actually, just kind of set your tempo. There we go. Okay, Killen. Stronger climber. We'll set an 88. It's still 6K. Okay, this is not time to go, but you can see the damage that's being done here. Group trying to split off. This group is nearly about to split off. There's the lift to the
Those guys up
pace.
front aren't going to be
So
making too many
Killen.
friends today. There are
Killen.
just 5
Whoa,
kilometers
whoa,
left.
whoa. Again, Rodriguez. Is anybody else going to bridge this gap? Looks like maybe no. Smith. Close to Mello. Still trying to get up there. I'm going to shift them to the back, as that's where they're at. See if they can maybe recover, but I don't think it's going to happen. Leonard Kemna trying to attack. It's 4.5K now, so we can actually start to accelerate a bit. .9, and here's that next acceleration. It's McNulty, Latour going for it again, Cazeneuve,
The
Cardoso,
pack has just reeled in the escape group.
3.1K. That's gels for everyone left. Those guys too far back, but for Mark's hanging on. Killen's now fading. Ginn Rodriguez for Mark. Nope, no red bar. That's what I told you. It's a little too much for these guys. 2K to go. And Rodriguez. Again, let's slow this up just a little bit. 1.8K. Still got a little ways to go. Again, sprint. And Rodriguez. Too early. Didn't want to sprint. McNulty's got it. But he's got a bit of a deficit. He's going to take the win. Rodriguez looking like he might get second if he can beat Dumoulin. Now we're ahead. Pablo Rodriguez, second place, 15 seconds down. He might have the lead overall. Dumoulin takes third. Vlasov, top rider for Ineos. Barrow down at 11th. Barrow was one of the ones who lost a tiny bit of time. So, could we be leading this thing overall with Rodriguez after that stage? It's possible. Getting up there in 5th for Mark, 22nd. Time gaps expected somewhere back here. Okay, there's the gap. There's the next gap. And there's plenty of gaps to follow. This is going to put us in a pretty strong spot. At least Rodriguez and Ginn anyway. But Ginn was the one who lost 6 seconds on that previous stage. Vlasov leads by 1 second over Barrow. Remember, Barrow had lost time. Our time bonus was 6 seconds. We were 6 seconds down. Countback must have pushed us to 7 on that last stage. So we are in 3rd place. Barrow 2nd. Rodriguez 3rd. But they're on the same time. We're in a strong position now. And Ginn is 4th. McNulty moves up to 5th. There's Dumoulin, Latour. What is Dumoulin now these days at 35? A 79 mountain, 76 hills, 74 resistance, 80 time trial. Funny thing is, I'd put his ratings not far from this right now. Not at 35, but right now at, what is he, 30, 31? But I've said many times, and I no longer have to say, because we're not going to have to deal with him as much, how overrated, how OP he is in this game compared to real life. He was absolute trash in 2020. He was probably the worst rider on Jumbo Visma in those races. He was expected to be hanging on as a number 2, as a fallback, just in case to Roglic, and never did any of that. Never buried himself. There was interviews where he said he did it, and the media certainly tried to paint the picture. He did 2K on the front of the tour. He did 5K on the front at La Vuelta. That was it. Wout van Aert did 80K in one stage. Sepp Kuss did 6K, 5K daily. Anyway. There's no love loss here. No, yeah, there is. Stage 4. Punchy stage. UAE doesn't matter. It's not a sponsor objective. I'm going to take some risk here. We're going to wrap this episode up. Stage 6 is a big mountain stage. We're going to open next episode with Stage 6. And we're going to quick sim Stage 4 and see what happens. Is Rodriguez still near the top? 12 seconds behind on the stage. For Mark was 17 down. And we are in the race lead. 13 seconds clear of Barrow. Vlasov is now 21 behind. He lost 22 seconds on the stage. Barrow lost 13. Ginn still sits at 25 behind in 4th place. Dumoulin 5th. McNulty 6th. For Mark up into the top 7. 2 Americans back to back there. Tolet, Latour, and Mateo are your top 10. That's going to do it for this episode. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to hit that like button, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there, and bye for now.